Hey y'all, did you know that the top 1% of earners double down on their skills 7 times more than the average person? And in this video, I'm going to show you how. And looking back at mine and Joe's journey over the last 15 plus years, we doubled down a lot. And because we promised you to always have open and honest conversations about our journey towards financial independence, from making $30,000 to $40,000 each a year at the beginning of our journey to now becoming debt-free millionaires living abroad, this video goes deep into how we made our first $100,000 by covering number 1, how to level up your career and setting a vision for the long term. Number 2, being self-aware and understanding your passions and how to turn them into profit. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to show you 2 specific tools on how to avoid what I like to call the financial independence burnout, because let's be honest, the journey is a marathon and not a sprint. So first, let's talk about your career and explore on how you can double down strategically. And the main thing that helped me on our path towards our first $100,000 was upskilling and becoming absolutely an irreplaceable asset, specifically in my organization. Now, first of all, I want to acknowledge that I understand that anyone in reality is replaceable at a company. And in fact, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. But that doesn't mean that we don't upskill, because you can take your skills wherever you decide to go. So when you upskill and you learn deep in a very specific domain, you start to recognize that you have more negotiation opportunities, or like in my case, more opportunities to get the next promotion, potentially the next advancement, not only in your career, but also in your hard-earned income. And so what I want you to think about is, as you increase your income through all of this work, you want to continue to invest at $100,000 and beyond. Now, upskilling can look like investing in courses, certifications, securing a mentor, but the ultimate goal on this one is to become irreplaceable and undeniably unique in your field. So if you watched my tech salary reveal video, you'll notice that I was in supply chain planning for 11 years of my 15 years in tech. And I did that strategically because my first 4 years were in sales and operations. And when I made the decision to move over into supply chain, I could now take that expertise and I could continue to build on it, ultimately becoming the longest tenured planning leader by the time of my departure, who not only understood what our organization did strategically, but I also now held strategic relationships, both internal and external to the organization, which really helped to open a lot of doors for me. Now, this is something that I get a lot of questions about, not only how I built my career, but also how I managed to do the work and stay active in the ownership of my personal development. So I taught a class on this specific topic earlier this year, and it's recorded and linked in the description below, where I share the 6-step framework of how I leveled up my career and my income over the last 15 years, ultimately 10xing my salary over that time. So the last thing I'll say about this one is Joseph was strongly encouraging me for a few years to start taking my decade plus worth of skills and experience and figure out how to side hustle them. He kept telling me, Steph, you have all this experience, you have a personal brand story, you have these skills that other women need to see. You honestly have to love the man. He's incredibly supportive, but he was also right. And that's actually some of the thinking that I took into how I'm building Women's Wealth Effect, which allows me to take my planning and forecasting skills. I absolutely love a spreadsheet. It allows me to take my personal experience building wealth, and it allows me to take my experience as a Latina career woman, a wife, and now a mommy, and I get to help other ambitious women unlock their life on their terms by activating their hard-earned income. And that is a great segue to my second point, which is being self-aware and keenly understanding what you are passionate about so that you can turn that passion into profits. Admittedly, I did not do this one very well, but the master of this one was Joseph. And a little bit of backstory on this one. Whenever I met him back in 2010, 2011, he was selling all of his things. He was putting in his notice as a teacher, and he was planning to travel all across Europe on this plan of self-discovery. And in reality, he wanted to focus on one specific thing: how he was going to take everything that he loved and he was passionate about and turn it into a business. Now, I recognize that not everyone can drop everything to go off on a wanderlust trip of self-discovery across the world, but what you can do is pause this video or take some time today to take out a piece of paper, to get a note card, to take out a specific page in your journal, or even a note in your iPhone, and write down 3 to 5 very true passions for yourself. And for Joseph, he's passionate about being in a position to provide for his family. He loves photography and he's really good at it. He's obsessed with technology, lighting, and all the setups. I mean, look at this background. And after a few years, he realized that there was a real opportunity in the real estate marketing space. So he took his love for tech, photography, videography. He was very good with social media, and he built his company that has now made over $1.3 million in revenue. And I have to say, I'm a very proud wife. So once you have your passion list, explore selling your work online or offer your services related to your specific passion. The internet really does open up endless possibilities. And if that has legs, you then could build a community around your passion. You could start a blog, you could start a podcast, you could start a YouTube channel and share your knowledge and engage with your audience. Show your true self. You can eventually monetize with ads, you can get sponsorships, you can sell products or courses. And the last thing I'll say about this one is the rules are honestly made to be broken with this entire one. If you have the ability of addressing a serious pain point for people, utilizing your unique skills and your knowledge, you have tremendous value to give. Now, Joseph has made a few side hustle videos based off his experience of taking his passions specifically into making some profits, which should be popping somewhere up here in the video. I'll be sure to link them down below in the description as well. So now you have 2 big bodies of work that you can work on to double down on achieving and tackling your first $100,000 of net worth. And I'm gonna be honest, this process takes some time. Joe and I reached our first $100,000 in 2018. That was 12 years after I entered the workforce and 7 years of us being together. But get this, it took us 3 years after that to then reach our first 1 million. Because after you make your first 100,000, not only have you gotten the hardest milestone out of the way, but if you've really doubled down on the things that we talked about specifically in this video and gotten momentum behind your career, your skills, your passions, it really starts to snowball. So let's talk about how we are going to sustain this marathon because it's not a sprint and we want to get through it in a clear and healthy way. So number 1 is prioritizing your health and your well-being, and burning the candle at both ends might help you get there faster. But I'm going to tell you, burnout is real and it can creep up on you because I have been there and I have done that. Prioritize your sleep, exercise, eat healthy to maintain your energy and your focus. I found that getting clear about boundaries with work was really important, and speaking to that with my boss, I didn't do nearly enough. Number 2 is to automate your finances. So set up automatic transfers to your savings and your investments. It removes the temptation to spend when you're stressed, and it helps you make sure that you are still making progress even whenever life gets busy. And the third thing is seek support and accountability. Find a community of like-minded individuals that could be like us. You could reach out and hire a coach like the services that I provide through the Women's Wealth Effect. You could even hire a fee-based financial advisor to guide you and help you stay on track. And I have 2 tools that I think will help you on a number of different fronts because it certainly helped us. And the first tool is my financial independence planner. As you map out your path to your first $100,000 and beyond, mapping out your future is so incredibly powerful. And I have some feedback from people who have already downloaded the tool. Mitzi actually writes to say, "You encouraged us to face our possibilities and project our happiness with the plan of action. Black and white, love it." Thank you, Stefanie. Thanks for your comment, Mitzi. And the second free tool is my net worth tracker. Once a year, I want you to sit down with all of your assets and liabilities, and I want you to get clear with where you stand on this journey towards increasing your net worth. No more heads in the sand, avoiding our numbers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to tell you that facing your limitless possibilities is step 1 in unlocking your life on your terms. And we are living proof of that. Now, I know that some of this might sound intense, but remember, you don't have to do all of this stuff at once. 1 step at a time is way better than no steps at all. And I would love to hear the passions that you have, the side hustles you're considering, and any other questions that you have in the comments below. And if you found value in today's video, please like and subscribe to our channel. And I hope today's discussion gave you a little more food for thought on how to give yourself permission to be wealthy.